So, anybody that knows me knows that I absolutely don't care. So, what I'm going to do today, since I'm not sponsored by Nike, I don't plan on getting sponsored by Nike, and I don't care, ain't nobody my boss but my own self, I'm going to come on here and I'm going to give you the truth about what's really going on and why Nike is actually raising their prices, and it has nothing to do with tariffs. So, let me go ahead, run you this, the dopest intro you ever seen in your life, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about nothing but straight facts.
OG Trap Jordan, OG Trap Jordan, the other sneaker YouTubers, the hell are boring. OG Trap Jordan, OG Trap Jordan, I got sneakers rated and pouring.
What up, YouTube? Happy Memorial Day weekend. OG Trap Jordan back with another one. And today, you know what? It's been a minute since I recorded a video. I'm always busy. I work a lot of long hours, so I wanted to do something different, but I really don't have a lot of time. I got another busy weekend packed ahead of me. So before I get started, I do want to ask you guys who copped today. Big release. I already got mine if you didn't see that video. I tried to go for another pair unsuccessfully, but that's okay because I got mine. I hope you guys got yours. But I want to get into something today, and I want to talk about, I've talked about this before, but I'm going to go in a little harder on it. We're going to talk about the tariffs. I know you guys have seen a couple other people make videos about these, but I'm going to talk about the tariffs, and it's really not going to be so much about the tariffs. It's really going to be about the greed of Nike. Surprise. And basically the way I feel about Nike, I love the shoes. I love Nikes. I love retro Jordans. I've been rocking them for as long as I can remember. And personally, the corporation itself, the company, well, I'm going to tell you my real opinion on them. I think that Nike as a brand, as a corporation, and a lot of corporations right now in America, they can basically orally copulate on my slightly above average pink peen.
Pay your monkey ass when I feel like it. Better suck my.
Yep, that's how I feel, and that's what it is. So let's get into it for real. So these tariffs that everybody's talking about how it's messing up everything and the prices are going up and everything's been expensive. Things have been expensive since the COVID days, and really what it really comes down to, in my opinion, is corporate greed. Because right now, if you guys don't know, it doesn't matter what side you are. I'm going to kind of ride the middle when it comes to politics. I'm not going to take the right or the left, because I think that there's both sides that really agree on one thing, and let me explain what that one thing is. So right now, no matter what side you're watching, whether you're watching CNN or you're watching Fox News, I tend to watch both because I want to get both sides, because I know there's one side, the other side, and then the truth is usually somewhere in the middle. So I try to be as objective as possible. But I'll say this, right now, the reason I say everybody agrees, these tariffs are almost not even existent right now. It's a bunch of BS. And the reason I say that, you could watch either side, whether you like Trump or whether you hate Trump. Trump's people are saying, oh yeah, this is what he wanted. He paused the tariffs. This is what he was trying to do. He's trying to negotiate. And then you got the other side that don't really like Trump, and they're saying, oh, Trump folded. Trump, he basically bowed down to China. He bowed down to these other people. Like I said, there's one side that say he was negotiating, this is what he wanted to do, and right now he's negotiating. And then the other side is saying, no, he bowed down, he basically tucked his tail and ran away. Well, either way, that draws the conclusion to what? It means there's really not any tariffs. They've been paused. And I know I'm a port worker, and this is just a small example. Right after he paused the tariffs, it was like a 2-day period before they were going to officially be paused. And we couldn't get no cans. Nothing was running through the ports. I was sitting at the ports. I was getting stuck at the ports. We were going through hell, period. We couldn't get nothing up out of there, because what basically happened is they knew that they were paused. And this is my opinion. I don't know this for a fact, but I do know that nothing was coming in, and those boats were sitting out there on the water, and they didn't want to come in because they knew that those tariffs were going to get lifted in a couple of days. And as soon as that deadline hit and those tariffs were lifted that day, I was at the ports and everything started running, and we were getting cans up out of there, we were getting cans in, and shit was pushing back to normal again. Now I say that to say this, right now there are small tariffs, but it's nothing like it was with those 140% and all that crazy stuff. And there's people on both sides that agree that there's been tariffs on us for a long time, and a lot of people think that we do need to recoup some of that. Now, I'm not going to get into my opinion of that or not. I'm just saying that a lot of people on both sides, I've seen both people make that argument. I've seen that on the right and the left. Now, how much? That's a whole nother thing. Are we negotiating? That's a whole nother thing. The whole politics is not necessarily what I'm here to talk about. I seen another YouTuber really get their opinion on it, and the thing that I thought was cowardly, and if that person's watching, they know they gave their whole political view, which is fine. If you want to do that, that's completely cool, and I completely agree with that because I'm all for freedom of speech and all that. But the one thing I didn't like about this person when they did that, they basically told a bunch of people how they were voting wrong, and then they turned their comments off. My comments are on. If I say something that offends you guys, feel free to have an argument with me. Not an argument, but let's have a discussion. Let's have a friendly discussion about what's really going on if you want to. Like I said, this isn't so much about the politics for me. This is about Nike and corporate greed. And I'll take you back, in my opinion, to even the COVID days when prices were going up back then. It's really just, it's greed. There was a time, let me slow down a little bit so I could really make my point. My point is, Nike wants to up their prices. They've been wanting to up their prices, and they're talking about what, like from 5 to 10%. From 5 to 10%. Let's do the math on 5 to 10%. Let's say that Nike's gonna ship 1 million shoes over here, right? Let's just say 1 million shoes. Like, for instance, you got a Holiday 11. There's usually about 1 million of those, right? So you're gonna give us a $10 markup on 1 million shoes, and that adds up to what? That's $10 million. $10 million. You're gonna tell me that even if there are tariffs, even if they're high, whether they're low, whatever they are, you're gonna tell me that it's costing you another $10 million to ship 1 million shoes over here. That doesn't even make any sense at all. That wouldn't even work, in my opinion. I think that Nike wanted to do this. They're always raising the prices, and they're using an excuse. Now, Nike as a corporation, they are on one side than the current political administration, which I'm not taking sides. And I do want to say this: I'm not here to get all MAGA with you, and I'm not here to get all F Donald Trump with you. I'm just telling you that these corporations are very greedy. What happened to slashing prices? What happened to giving Americans, consumers, a break? What happened to deals? When I was a kid, like, I grew up, I'll show my age, I was a kid in the 80s, teenager in the 90s, and I remember there was a couple little recessions, nothing compared to what we go through now, but I remember people trying to give people deals, like, we know there's a recession, we're slashing prices, we're willing and dealing, come on down, we know times are hard, and they'd be cutting prices here, and they'd be deals here, and people would be giving out, you'd be seeing commercials where you could get your furniture now, and you don't have to pay for 2 years, and we're cutting prices because we know times are hard and we care about you. Remember when Walmart used to roll back prices? You remember that? And they used to give deals. There's no such thing as a deal anymore. It's like the corporations just looked at Americans and looked at their pockets and were like, let's do the math. Let's get a calculator out and let's see what's really going on and see how much money they're making and see how we can absolutely milk every dime out of their pockets. This is corporate greed. There's no deals. Nobody tries to help anybody. You just see that other people are marking their prices up and you're like, you know what? We got to get a piece of that too. Super greedy assholes running the country right now because we are a consumer nation. That's what our whole economy is. We're a buy and sell consumer economy, and it's gotten out of hand. Now, me personally, I do think that capitalism is the best way to do it. It's better than socialism. It's better than communism. It's better than anything, but it's peaked and it's gotten really greedy. And in my opinion, if there are tariffs, if the tariffs are even a little bit, those corporations need to eat that. If they care about us, they would eat that. There's no reason they need to mark up shoes or mark up anything $10, because that's just millions and millions of dollars in their pockets, and it's not costing that much to ship these shoes. I don't care what side of the spectrum you're on, who you voted for, what if you're a right winger, a left winger, I don't care. That's all corporate greed. That has nothing to do with the tariffs, because there is a little bit of tariffs from what I understand, but $10 million for 1 million shoes shipped is completely ridiculous, and Nike's full of shit, and they've been doing this and they did this. Our prices and everything on everything was going up when we had COVID. And for what? I mean, somebody get on here and explain that to me, because a lot of people were losing jobs. Maybe they were out of workers. I know there's a whole lot of reasons for that, but in my opinion, people getting $1,500 checks shouldn't make the prices on everything triple. That's just complete greed. They're acting like, oh, we gotta compensate for prices lost. We've lost employees, yada yada yada. So that trickles down to us. You guys are making billions of dollars and you're making us pay for it. You need to eat that. Nike's full of shit. Nike is a $1 billion corporation. And you know what's funny about it is they're also blaming it on the fact that it's what was the words that I read? It was something about demand. Well, where's the demand? If your guys' supposed stocks are dropping, no, you guys are trying to make us eat that too. That's what it really comes down to. And the funny thing about the stocks dropping, the market, is because it's not even really that bad. You guys are just comparing it to your peak, and your peak was COVID, and in COVID, Jordan Brand alone made like $19 billion. So you guys are never going to get back up to that. It's completely greedy. It's completely ridiculous. And at the end of the day, I don't care. Nike brand can basically eat a dick. You know what? And I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm going to completely stop buying, but I am planning on rolling back and slowing down a lot after this year. But personally, you guys are so greedy, and to everybody that's watching this, if you guys want to stop this, the only way we could stop this is just to stop buying, stop consuming so much. And that's what it is. We're a consumer nation. We love things, we love shit, and so we buy it, and they know they can just keep upping those prices and keep upping those prices and keep upping those prices, and we don't stop buying. We just gimme, and we continue to consume, and it's kind of our fault. But it's really just what I said. It's corporate greed. Nike is a greedy corporation. So is all these other companies out here. And the truth is, at the end of the day, it doesn't really have anything to do with tariffs. It's just their excuse. They were going to do this anyway. And we're the ones that are taking it right up the you-know-what. And it's a bunch of BS in my opinion. And that's all I got to say today. Go ahead, if you like my content, hit that button, subscribe to the channel so you can get notified every time I drop one of these bangers, and you can get some more of this good stuff in my life. Not my life, your life. And at the end of the day, Nike can eat a fat one.